Hello, wonderful person. This is lesson number 11 for the computer literacy course. Now, this is basically the third lesson that we were actually covering Google Sheets, Microsoft Excel, going in and actually creating spreadsheets. I'm going to start this with actually comparing Microsoft Excel and also Google Sheets with some of the artificial intelligence features that we have in those. So it's going to be comparing what the artificial intelligence does to kind of help us so that we don't get error messages in our spreadsheets and workbooks. After I go over the differences of how those two applications work, I'm going to then jump into lesson number 11, the actual lesson 11 there. And we're going to do the practice. So basically it's all practice on that one, where I give you just the beginning steps of creating a spreadsheet or a workbook, and then you follow along and you actually pause the video and you create the spreadsheet by putting in the data, putting in the formulas, and then creating the charts and other things that need to be done. Skills that we'll be covering would be working with the word art, creating charts, using the sum function or other functions. Practice those skills from previous lessons. So before I get into looking at the differences between Excel and Sheets, I do want to invite anyone who hasn't subscribed to the channel, please hit subscribe and click on that bell icon so that you get updates on when new videos come up. And also, if you like these types of videos, please click on thumbs up, as that really helps the channel. And also share the channel, because this channel is dependent on you sharing the videos. Alright, so let's get into comparing Excel and Sheets as far as the artificial intelligence. Hey, here I am inside of two different spreadsheets. Now up on top we have Microsoft Excel, and then below that we have Google Sheets, the one that I'm actually in. Now what I've been trying to do in the earlier part of this lesson is when I was creating it, I was trying to get it an error message, so I could show you an example of an error message such as what we used to get back with Microsoft Excel 2010. And you get something that would have a pound mark and then it would say value on there. And the way that you'd get that is you'd be typing in your numbers, and by accident, instead of typing in like 1200 that we have there, you type in 1, 2, and then you put in 2-letter O's, hit the enter key, and right there for the total, you'd actually have a pound value error. Well, now what the artificial intelligence does is it ignores all labels. Now, what is a label, you ask? Well, a label is any time when you have something inside the cell that is not a number. For example, letters. Now, if you have any type of letters inside of a cell, immediately that takes it out of the numeric type of format and it puts it into the label format. And a label, it's basically the artificial intelligence ignores those and it goes right over it. So if I look into the sum function here, notice the sum function is adding the correct columns. So we have column B, C, and D being added, giving me the total there in E3, cell E3. I'll click outside of there and it's $110. To correct that, just put in the real number and it gives us the right number. Now I'm going to go into an Excel and do the same thing. I was talking to someone this morning and they were asking me, well, what version are you using? Well, I'm using version it's 16 and then a whole bunch of numbers on there. So it's the current version that you find with your OneDrive. And so I'll go in here and I'll do the exact same thing in Excel. So right there, I've clicked in there and I'll go 1, 2, and then I'll put in 2-letter O's, hit the enter key, and Excel now does the same thing. So the artificial intelligence of both Excel and Google Sheets ignores labels. Again, it didn't change my function or my formula. Inside there it says equal SUM, and then it's adding the values inside of those cells. The way Microsoft looks at it is, well, if you have letters inside of a cell, no longer is a numeric value. it is now considered a label. Kind of like the same thing that Google Sheets is doing, but it is artificial intelligence, and it's rewriting it there, or overlooking the error that we have there. So I'm going to replace it with 1200, and it puts in the right number. Now what I'm going to try to do now is I'm going to try to get all pound marks. So I'm going to put this in here. We used to get this error a lot, and if I decrease the size of this column, I believe I can get it. There it is. So we would call those the railroad tracks, and we used to get that in class. And I say, oh, just expand, or drag out the width of your column a little bit, and you get your numbers back. And I was doing that here, and I tried it with Google Sheets, and it didn't give me the error. No matter how narrow the column I made, it didn't give me the error. It would just basically keep the number in there, but then close the value or close the cell around it. And so I was like, that's interesting. I wonder about that. And then I remember teaching in my class, I said, now if you have that happen, all you have to do is right click on the top of that column. So right there where you see it's column E, just right click it, and now go down to where it says column width, or resize column. So there's resize column. Click it, and it comes up here. So here's my little window that I'm seeing, and what I want to do is notice what it says. It says fit to data. So I'm going to click on fit to data, click OK, and it does that. Now normally when I'm working with the columns, I'll just highlight multiple columns, and I'll do that. I'll right click the one of those, and I'll say fit to data, and then it resizes all of those columns to fit the data. And the amazing thing is, it'll make the columns that are too wide, it'll narrow those, and the ones that are too narrow, it'll widen those. So again, the artificial intelligence comes in handy and really saves us a lot of time. What about Excel? Will it also automatically rewrite or resize the column? So what I'll do is I'll do the same thing, make it too narrow. There's my railroad tracks. And I'll right click the letter E there, and there's, let's see, where's my column width here? There it is, resize column, or it says column width for Excel. I use a little bit different term. And as you can see, it does not say resize to fit data. So unfortunately, that's not an option inside of Excel that I see there. The next thing I want to talk about is the name error. So let's say that you click on one of these totals because you want to see the function that's inside and the formula there. And you say, okay, I want to see what this highlights. So you click up here, it highlights this. And then let's say that by accident you click back in here, and then you click over here, and then not knowing that you've just changed your addresses in there, you hit the enter key, and that's how you get the name error. To fix that, click back into where it says name right here, and you'll see the addresses are not correct. So just click in there, hit your backspace to take out the extra address that doesn't belong, hit the enter key, and you're back in business. Okay, now we're going to be starting the practice portion of the lesson. So we'll be diving into lesson number 11 and working with our spreadsheets and workbooks. And this time we'll be creating things there using our skills from previous lessons. And here we start the practice part of lesson number 11. So let me go view here and full screen. Now this is with Google Sheets, but you can use these with Microsoft Excel as well. Thus far, we have been using Google Sheets in home and business spreadsheets, but Google Sheets can be a very handy tool in better understanding scientific measurements as well. So in this lesson, you will be creating a number of spreadsheets and charts to fine-tune the skills learned in Lesson 10. So our very first one here is Worksheet Project 13, Highest Mountains on the Earth. Step number 1, start the Chrome browser or Chromebook and log into your Google account. Number 2, click on the Apps icon found in the Bookmarks bar or in the New tab. Number 3, the app screen will load showing the apps that are installed in your account. 4, click on the Drive icon. 5, the Google Drive will load as seen here. By the way, I would like to say that at any time you can always hit that space bar to pause the video or use your arrow keys to go back or forward in the video. Step number 6. Double click on the Projects folder to open it. Step number 7. Once it opens, you will see the documents that you have created in the past. They look like this. Step number 8. Click on the New button. Number 9. A menu will pop down. It looks similar to this one here. Number 10. Click on the green Google Sheets icon. Number 11. If you're asked to create this document in a shared folder, then click on Create and Share. 12. Google Sheets will load as seen here. 13. Give this spreadsheet the title Project 13 Highest Mountains. You can do that by typing in the new title and then hitting the Enter key once. Step 14. After naming the spreadsheet, the blank spreadsheet should be visible as seen here. 15. Highlight row number 1 from column A to column H. 16. Click on the Merge command to merge the cells into one long cell. 17. Click on the Center command to center the text within the cell. 18. The spreadsheet should now look like this. 19. Click on the Insert command found towards the top of the menu bar there. The Insert menu should appear. 20. From the Insert menu, click on the Drawing command. 21. The Insert Drawing window should open as seen here. 22. Click on Actions from within the Insert Drawing window. A menu should appear. 23. Click on Word Art from within the Actions menu. 24. A new text box should appear in your work. 25. Key in Highest Mountains in the text box provided and then hit the Enter key once. 26. After hitting the Enter key, the word art should appear as seen here. 27. Take your mouse and click on the Save and Close button. That should be found towards the top of this workspace. 28. The spreadsheet should look like this now. 29. Right-click the number 1, which is the very first row. A context menu should appear as seen here. 30. Click on Resize Row from the context menu. 31. The Resize Row window should open up as seen here. Step 32. Key in 128 to change the row height from 21 to 128. 33. After changing the row height to 128, click on the OK button. 34. The first row should now appear taller as seen here. 35. Click into cell A2 and type mountain, and then hit the tab key once to jump to the next cell. 36. In the next cell, key in height, and then apostrophes with the M in the middle there, and hit the tab key once to jump to the next cell. 37. Click on the letter A of the very first column. The entire spreadsheet should become highlighted as seen here. 38. Right-click on the letter A of the very first column, and a context menu should appear. 39. Select Resize Column from within the context menu. 40. The Resize Column A window should open. Key in 108 to change the column width to 108. Hit the Enter key once to exit the window. 41. Now key in this information into the cells of the spreadsheet. So notice that we have right below mountain, we have Everest, K2, and all of these other mountains here. And then we have the height there. That'd be 8848. That's in meters. So key in those numbers as well. You can hit the pause key to enter in those numbers. Once you've entered in all that data, hit the spacebar again to unpause the video. Welcome back. Step number 42. After entering all that information, highlight the cells from A3 to B12. 43. Use the shortcut Alt-I-H to insert a chart. Step 44. Move the chart so that both the data and the chart are visible. You can move the chart by dragging the top portion of the chart to the location that you desire. And so what we need both the chart and the data to be clearly visible. Sometimes the chart overwrites or is in front of part of the information. 45. Click within cell A14 and then key in your name. 46. Change the title to Highest Mountains by double-clicking on the title area and keying in the new title. 47. Type Highest Mountains into the text box and hit the Enter key to insert this title into the chart. You are done with this project. Next project. Worksheet project number 14. Largest canyons on the Earth. Step number 1. Open a new blank spreadsheet within Google Sheets and name it Projects 14 Largest Canyons. Step number 2. Using the skills learned from the past projects, create the spreadsheet shown here. So notice here you have largest canyons. This is word art again. Row number 1 has a very large height to it, so it's probably like 128. You have canyon, and then you have the names of the canyons. In column B, we have depth in meters, and you have 2 charts. Now my students, many times they would try to highlight all of the data and labels at one time and then try to create one chart from everything. You can't do it that way. The trick is to make 2 charts. So you'd have to highlight this data right here and then use that shortcut to create a chart. Make the first one. Resize it and move it into position. Then create the second chart by again highlighting this data the second group of data using that shortcut Alt-IH to open up the insert chart, and then move that chart and resize it so it's sitting right here. So please note there are two charts, one comparing the depths and the other comparing the lengths of these canyons. Resize the charts to fit the area next to the data as shown in this illustration. So go ahead and enter in that data and hit that space key there to pause the video. Once you're done, hit the space key again to unpause the video. Worksheet project number 15, largest geysers on the Earth. Number 1, open a new blank spreadsheet within Google Sheets and name it Project 15, largest geysers. Number 2, using the skills learned from the past projects, create the spreadsheet as shown here. So go ahead and hit the space key to pause the video. Once you're done, hit it again to unpause the video. Next project, worksheet project number 16, largest seas and oceans on the Earth. Open a new blank spreadsheet within Google Sheets and name it Project 16, largest seas and oceans. Number 2, using the skills learned in the past projects, create the spreadsheet as shown here. So this is a larger spreadsheet, and it says largest seas and oceans at the very top. There's a lot of data here, but notice that the data is repeated twice. Now there's a little trick to this. All you have to do is key this in once, highlight from Pacific to Olympic, and use the shortcut Control-C to copy this data. Click down into A20, and then use the shortcut Control-V to paste all the labels in. That saves you a lot of time, so it only takes a couple minutes to do all of this. So go ahead and hit that space bar and create this spreadsheet. Welcome back. Worksheet project number 17, largest objects of the solar system. Step number 1, open a new blank spreadsheet within Google Sheets and name it Project 17, largest objects of the solar system. Number 2, using the skills learned from the past projects, create the spreadsheet as shown here. So notice this one says largest objects of the solar system. This is excluding the sun, of course. When we create the actual chart, because if you had the sun in the chart, it would basically dwarf everything else and you won't see Earth and Mars and all the other planets. So here the objects that we have here are Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Ceres, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And then you have the diameter in miles. 868,000 miles, 3,030, 7,520, 7,927, 4,217, 600 miles, 88,500, 75,000 miles, 32,500, 32,000, and 1,770 miles there for little Pluto, which is actually smaller than our moon. Our moon, which is not shown here, but our moon is 2,159.7 miles across there. Alright, what you'll need to do is key in this information and then resize the chart to fit the area as shown in this illustration. Go ahead and hit that pause button there and then key in that data. Next is scripts. When you record your actions with the action recorder, a script is created. These actions can include entering text or numbers, clicking cells or commands on the menus, formatting cells, rows, or columns, formatting data as a table, and so on. This is what the script tool icon looks like. Next is macros. Macros create a custom user-generated functions and speed up manual tasks by creating automated processes. This is what the macro tool icon looks like. Well, we've completed the practice part of lesson number 11. We'll now go into the questions. If you're taking this for credit, you can email me, or if If you're doing this in class, you can take out a paper, write your name on the top, and hand it in to me at the end of class. Question number 1. What does the pound name ? Error mean? Question number 2. What does a pound value ? Error mean? Question number 3. Within Excel, why would you see all pound marks instead of numbers within a cell? Number 4. Can Google Sheets open a Microsoft Excel workbook? Number 5. What is the name of this tool? Number 6. What is the name of this tool? Question number 7. What is the name of this tool? Question number 8. What is the name of this tool? Question number 9. What is the name of this tool? Question number 10. What is the name of this tool? Question number 11. Which keyboard key is tapped to jump to the next cell? Question number 12. What does this tool do? Question number 13. What is the name of this tool? Question number 14. What is the name of this tool? Question number 15. What does the tool look like that highlights all of the cells within the worksheet? Number 16. Please draw or describe the fill color tool. Question number 17. Please draw or describe the currency tool. Question number 18. Please draw or describe the percentage tool. Question number 19. Please draw or describe the undo tool. Question number 20. Please draw or describe the merge tool. Hey, we've completed lesson number 11 with both the practice portion and the little exam at the end. Now, if you're an instructor and you need the answers there for these, you can always leave a question in the comment section of this video, and I'll get back to you on where you can actually find my book and use that in your classroom. Hey, again, if you like these types of videos, please make sure that the thumbs up button is clicked down below. And like I said, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel and leave comments down below, because I love to read your comments, and if there's a question, I actually answer your question and try to give you the best answer possible there. Alrighty, thank you very much and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.